Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining me today for Stay Free with Russell Brand. We are free indeed. Wherever you're watching us, why don't you make that choice and get over onto Rumble and acquire Rumble Premium if you ain't got it yet. And while I take my first hit of methylene blue of the day, praying that I bypass the old Nashers, I want to point out to you that we got a fantastic show coming up. Social media ban in the UK. How are they dressing it up as helping people? Well, by saying they're protecting youngsters, of course. Marco Rubio, we've got a story to discuss with his growing popularity after his performance at the Munich Security Conference earlier in the week. We'll be talking about big food and real food. In fact, here I am, just earlier today, apologising to Mike Tyson. Have a look at this.
Thanks so much. Do you want to say something to Mike Tyson? He's coming on next.
Yes, I'm glad he's coming on because I've been wanting to challenge Mike to a fight. Oh, no, he's really there. Oh, hello, Mike. How amazing to see you.
I love you, brother. I love you.
I love you. Praise the Lord. I hope that you are free and in recovery. I pray for you regularly. I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to you, Mike, for that time when I asked you a stupid question. You probably don't even remember it. You live a big and busy life. But I want to reiterate my respect and admiration for you as a champion and as a man in recovery and now as an advocate for these beautiful values. And as I promised I would tell Dr. Oz, your hair looks fantastic. And I'm going to have to mean body hair by that because you're a shaved man. But I also am confident that your body hair looks fantastic. And I'll leave it there, Mike, because I don't want to, re-cause the trauma.
It's all love, brother. It's all love, brother.
All love. Praise the Lord. Cheers, Mike.
Thank you, brother.
God bless you.
It's good. It's nice to know that any potential bad blood between me and all former heavyweight champions has been assuaged. Let's get into the first story. If you're British, and I am, so's Joe. Massey, you're British, are you?
Yeah, English.
I can't even tell. You're all over the place. Dave and Jake, Americans, but nevertheless, well...
Yeah, we're English.
Well, yeah, everyone's English.
Yeah, I'm not English.
We've got to find out. Let's get that. They're English. Let's see what's going on in the UK with their social media ban. Let's have a look firstly at what Keir Starmer, God love him, has announced. Starmer has announced a consultation into setting a minimum age for social media. Before that consultation takes place, however, ministers will write a clause into the existing Children's Wellbeing and Schools Bill that will enable them to enforce a ban quickly if that's what the consultation recommends. These so-called Henry VIII powers allow the government to use secondary legislation to enforce an age limit rather than writing an entirely new bill. Now, I suppose what's interesting is they're lowering the age for voting. They've always advocated for lower ages for consent, those weirdos. And at the same time, trying to restrict social media usage. Let's have a look at this this commentary on whether or not the UK should indeed wade into the waters already occupied by Australia and Spain, who have already imposed forms of social media control.
A social media ban for children under 16 has come into effect in Australia, representing a world first. The move has been welcomed by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, but he has already warned it won't be easy to enforce. The ban has already received mixed reactions across Australia, but it raises a wider question. Should the UK...
I walked over that bridge once. It's like a tourist experience you can do. They sort of strap you on it. You have to wear like a boiler suit, a jumpsuit. Americans don't... What do you call an all-in-one suit, such as a plumber would wear? You don't have a word for that.
A onesie.
Overalls.
A onesie. Overalls? They won't say overalls,
Overalls.
Massey. Overalls, yeah?
I think so, overalls.
Yeah.
Overalls, like Mario
That's what they
Brothers
say,
wear.
overalls.
Yeah.
Overalls, that's what they say. They say overalls. Well, I wore overalls, or a boiler suit in my language, and I walked right over that bridge, boiler suit. I went right over that bridge, and it was a strange experience. It started off being terrifying. That was the first bit. It was like, oh my God, this is so terrifying, being up on this high steel bridge over Sydney Harbour. And then after about 15 minutes, it was actually boring. And it was the same experience. It's interesting how quickly you adjust. That's why I mustn't take drugs, because what starts off as terrifying quickly becomes boring.
Did
Try
you think
methylene
about
blue.
jumping? Did you want to jump at any point?
Yeah, throughout. I mean, that was to brighten it up. Most of the time, this would liven the experience up. A little jump into the abyss would cheer me right up. All right, so look, we've all got children, and You just got to control yourself. Do you want the government restricting your children's access to social media? How are you going to do it then?
No, we can do that. We can do that.
Do it ourselves.
Parents, yeah.
Parents don't need a government. So you think that that's not the real reason that they're doing it?
It's just like anything that they try to. This is for your safety.
This is
Take
for your
this.
safety.
We care for you. We love you.
Let's just come to the island and relax. Here's Keir Starmer and Sadiq Khan. Oh wow, they've teamed up together at last. Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, and Keir Starmer teamed up to go, well, to a school. Now, if I was a politician in the United Kingdom, the last place I'd be campaigning is a school. I'm surprised them kids didn't flee for the fences immediately on sight of them. Oh my God, there's a politician. Protect your bums.
I was really glad to welcome the Prime Minister to Putney today to talk about immediate action to make the online world safer for children. I've been campaigning on this. I know that local parents across the country want this action, and the government is listening and putting in place new powers to keep children safe. Ensure that no social media platform gets a free pass.
We selected this music to keep things bright and breezy while telling you that controlling you is for you. We selected this light music so that you won't suspect that what you're watching is propaganda. Listen to the nice headmistress. I'm not saying she's not a nice headmistress. I'm saying she's being exploited by that social media artifact that's designed to legitimize control.
Pass and a new crackdown on AI chatbots. I was here at St Mary's in Putney with the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, with the Secretary of State for Science and Technology, Liz Kendall, and with the Minister for Schools, Georgia Gould, all coming together to show how we can work across government to take the action needed. I'm a parent. In fact, my daughter came along with me today, and I know that the Prime Minister is a parent as well. And we know that parents cannot keep ahead and be the people who are expected to police the system online. It's got to be the social media companies that now are forced to take the action. Forced
to do it. It's lovely because it's soft propaganda, and as usual, the lubrication for this particular piece of legislative sodomy is your protection. It will be always your protection rather than their erection. But I've been around politicians and power long enough now to know that whatever it is they're saying, what the aim will be is control. Does this legislation advance their ability to control you? Once the answer is yes, that was the objective. Elsewhere, Starmer is talking about allowing kids to vote at 16. Let's check out the evident hypocrisy in this pair of measures.
I'm George, I'm 17. I wanted to ask about the representation of the people bill, which is being put before Parliament, and how giving 16 and 17-year-olds the vote risks being incompatible with a social media ban under 16, because the majority of young people get their news from social media, from their TikTok feed. So I wanted to ask, what provisions will the government put in place for citizenship education in schools, for example?
Well, a lot bound up in that. Firstly, I'm a big advocate of votes at 16 and 17. At 16 and 17, you are old enough and mature enough to make a decision about a government that it ought to be and will be a government for you. So it's really important that we have those votes. We do need
that we have those votes. The assumption is that he accidentally said the quiet part out loud. The assumption is that 16 and 17-year-olds will vote specifically for Labour, that their policies are oriented in that direction, that they recognise that they've lost popular support among so many demographics. Only children would consider voting for them, and they wouldn't consider it if they knew what a lot of these politicians' hobbies were.
Have those votes. We do need to make sure the citizenship is part of what we look at. We broadened the curriculum in schools because I think children and young people ought to learn about citizenship and how we operate as a society more generally. It's very important skills that they need for life. I'm acutely aware of your point about news because in politics there's always been a heavy sort of focus on newspapers, but frankly I don't think many people young people certainly, ever read newspapers anymore. or even sit down as a family and watch the 6 or 10 o'clock news. It's much more likely to be through social media, and really goes with the point this gentleman made. We must make sure that we're not cutting off sensible and good access for young people.
What an extraordinary and sort of sweet man Keir Starmer is in a number of ways, with his sort of clumsy blundering through the talking points he was briefed on prior to that conversation. And he's recognised that people aren't reading newspapers anymore. Under-16 social media ban would almost certainly require compulsory digital ID. So the first attempt at getting digital ID normalised and passed, it was going to be mandatory, has failed. So I guess you know how these things are engineered. For what reason would people submit to greater authority and control? Well, if their children were under threat. I suppose if their children were under threat. They reverse engineer scenarios that legitimise control that they would like to take anyway. Let's have a look at a reliable authority, the authority of a loving God. This is from 1 John 5-19. We know that we are children of God and that the whole world is under the control of the evil one. We know also that the Son of God has come and has given us understanding so that we may know him who is true. And we are in him who is true by being in his Son Jesus Christ. He is the true God and eternal life. Dear children, keep yourselves from idols. Well, there's a lot bound up in that, to quote Keir Starmer, but it talks very clearly that first epistle of John does about authority. Authority on earth, from a scriptural and Christian perspective, is said to be yielded to the devil, to evil. And one of the things that surprised me most when coming to Christ is that my long-learned and hard-earned understanding that the institutions of power, be they governmental or media or even smaller institutions, that these institutions were, broadly speaking, generally captured and corrupted, was underwritten by scripture. The Bible tells you clearly that we live in a fallen world, that there is such a thing as evil. In our sort of rational time, to talk about the devil and evil and to talk about angels and goodness and even pure and essential ideas decoupled from this splendid and sometimes arcane seeming imagery is unpopular. Look at the results of that. You live in a bureaucratic and managerial world where a bureaucratic and managerial, and I'm sure by God's grace, a very sweet man like Keir Starmer wrestles with complex ideological notions using managerial and crass language with no certainty that there is such a thing as good or evil. All there really is, if there is no good or evil, is expedience and power. You need Christ. You need to come to Christ personally. You need to have an encounter with that. The real miracle of coming to Jesus is the understanding that within you is an access point to great power, to whole and total power. One of the challenges that comes after that I'm learning about is how to surrender yourself to that power and recognize that that power cannot be located on or directed towards false idols, like that quote ends on. In fact, it ends with the warning that you must keep yourself from idols. Idols being, in our culture, so evidently and obviously the idols that come at you through the culture that always lead you back to self and self-centeredness. I'm very interested in where this sort of social media ban will go. We know that ultimately what it will be used to do is control information under the auspices of protecting children. But if you look at the way that the pandemic period was handled, we're all regarded as children by the state, vulnerable and capable of discerning truth from fiction ourselves, requiring of their constant guidance. And that's precisely indeed how the Bible talks to us as well. It recognizes our brokenness. It recognizes throughout the Old Testament that the endeavors of prophets fail, kings are fallible, and in the end there is the requirement for God and man to align again, for a new covenant to be achieved, for our endless sin to be taken upon him, for a new frequency to be established. This psychedelic aspect of Christ, what I mean by psychedelic, is something that's superior to, holy, set apart, divine, able to overwhelm this sort of static sense of self that I lived with, this cluster of memories and projections and fears, amount into a malleable self. Look at them go through the world. Note the bullshit. Look at the vanity and deception of even that silly twinkling video. Ding, 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 as they try to find ways to make sense of endless deception. Over here, we're going to let kids vote. Over here, we're going to control kids' access to social media. This is why it all makes sense. The game is up. It's over. And here's the answer. As an individual, embrace Christ. It's going to be strange for you and really hard for you. And maybe like me, you'll require crisis. Beyond that, believe in the power of democracy. One person, one vote. Use this technology that they're continually trying to implement to advance control, to advance technology and democracy. Technology and democracy are not opposed to one another. They can align and work together. As this idea becomes more popular, which it will over the next few years, you'll see it becoming more popular. People will start talking about it. People will put aside their old left v right biases and start saying, yeah, actually, you're right. If we had decentralized control of our own community, that would solve the problem. People will talk about it more and more. You will hear it. What they'll say is it's not safe, that the machines will get hacked. Of course, when they're in control of surveillance technology and digital ID, there's no problem with them getting hacked. The fact that cash machines and ATMs all over the world aren't ever hacked. No one ever hacks an ATM, do they, and empties it of all of its money. Suddenly there will be new concerns about technology. You watch. The minute we start saying we're going to turn these devices against you, instead of giving you all our data so you can market to us and control us, we're going to use these devices to run our towns, our communities, our hospitals, our schools, our lives and our roads. It's just logistics and operations. That's all it is. That's all you need a government for. Logistics and operations. Minimize their power. You've already seen what happens when they maximize it. You have already seen what happens when you let them behave as gods. They are not gods. They are fallen and broken. They're no better or worse than you or I. Some of us think they're a bit worse with all the Epstein Island stuff and all that kind of thing, but hey, none of us are perfect. The point is this. Don't worship false idols, children, like any political figure or cultural figure. Trust the God within you. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat? We've got a lot to talk about. Every single one of these beautiful men here, like Jake and beloved Dave and my dear Massey and Joe, have bought content for us to discuss. We're going to talk about that right away. But first of all, here's a message from one of our partners. Censorship is back and it's happening everywhere. Platforms are controlling narratives and pushing the stuff they want us to see. We've got to fight back. Rumble is the only company that stood the test of time, and they deserve our support. On one side, Rumble is challenging big tech censorship, and now on the other side, they've introduced something that will give us protection from big banks shutting us off. Banks can cancel our accounts, freeze our cards. So that's why we've launched Rumble Wallet. A wallet no one can cancel, and a wallet that supporters can use to instantly tip creators like old Russ without any middlemen taking cuts. I don't want no middleman taking a cut of my Rumble wallet. Give us some money. Give us it. Give us it now. You can buy and save digital assets like Bitcoin and Tether Gold in one place. Tether Gold is real gold on the blockchain with ownership of physical gold bars. I like the sound of that. It's a digital currency and it's gold. That's Joe all over. It's not only a wallet to buy and save, it also allows you to support your favourite creators by easily tipping them with a click of a button. There'll be no fees when you tip my channel or others, and we actually receive the tip instantly, unlike other platforms where we have to wait for payouts. Support my show and other creators by clicking the tip button on my Rumble channel. It's wallet.rumble.com. Tip us on there. Even don't tip me. I'm all right, man. But, you know, use it. It's good. Download Rumble Wallet today. Open an account and step away from the big banks for good. Wallet.rumble.com. Wallet.rumble.com. Get out of the system. Get into Rumble Wallet. Remember, you can come and see me if you want. You can come and see me there. I'm in Santa Rosa on the 2nd and 3rd of March. Come and see me. There's a link in the description. And indeed, here's a short piece from the show. Have a look at this. It was very funny. Remember, I was a drug addict for a long time. Who are you nodding? You was too, were you? You look like you're on drugs right now, if I may say so, sir. That Randy sod, Henry VIII, couldn't get enough of it. Couldn't get enough of it. Listen. Is your last pipe kicking in? I'm about to say something that I consider to be quite funny. Now, if I do, it's always a risk that it's hurtful. You never know. I don't think so, though. I think it's funny, and I think we've established rapport, you and I. Now, before I say it, are you willing to sort of stand up and rotate after I've said it? Okay, on my cue. If Einstein ran a meth lab. See what it says in here. Do not accuse anyone in the audience of being the proprietor of a meth lab under any circumstances. You know what happens, Russell. Stick to the carefully engineered script. I'd like to offer you an apology, sir.
Not necessary.
Thank you, I love you. Dogs! Everyone loves them. Muslims! Everyone loves them as well because we've all got to love one another. But what happens when it's dogs versus Muslims? There can be only one winner. Oh! Let's have a look at this. Apparently there's a lot of conflict going on because of a dog versus Muslim war. Let's check it out. Firstly, NYC is coming to Islam. Dogs definitely have a place in society, just not as indoor pets. Like we've said all along, they are unclean, says Nardine Kiswani. Okay, so there's a pro-Palestinian NYC activist saying she don't like dogs. Now me, I love dogs. You won't get it. You'll get nothing but unbiased decisions and insights from me. If they force us to choose between dogs and Muslims, it's not a difficult choice. Oh my word, look at the world we are living in. It's dogs v Muslims. There can be only one true winner. Allah Akbar. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. This is generally one of the most disgusting statements I've ever seen issued by an American official. It should not stop shocking us. The Republican Party openly embraces this. Fine should be censured and stripped of committees to ignore this, to accept it and normalise it. Just have democracies, then it'll be solved. I believe you should, if people want to run their community according to the Quran and Islam, they should be able to, democratically. If people want to have mass deportations, they should be able to, democratically. If people want to have communities of no dogs, they should be able to, democratically. I'd say have a dog town. I'd love to live there, dog town. And in Dogtown, it's them that picks my shit up. Dogtown. Okay, let's have a look at Piers Morgan's getting stuck in, or is it still a still? Oh, here's Piers Morgan. He posted on it. There are a lot of white English people I would happily trade for a good weekly chicken tikka masala. Well, go to Epstein Island. They're eating people there anyway. I think you can probably get that. You could probably get a little boy chopped up and made into a korma. Massey, what are you saying, baby?
So that's a really old tweet there of Piers, but if you go back to the AOC one, you see Piers Morgan reacting to the first tweet by the congressman, and then I pulled that one up to show that he says stuff like this himself all the time.
Here he is. Right, so dear Piers Morgan, yeah, well, one of the charges levelled at Piers Morgan is that he rides the coattails of trends. I've heard Candace Owens, for example, say that with his significant pivot on the COVID issue, but this is, hey, I guess people do have the right to change their minds. Here's Sneeko, a Muslim streamer who lives in Miami, demands that Americans keep their dogs at home because they are gross. Let's see what Sneeko's saying about those hounds.
Fuck your dog. Fuck your dog. Keep your dog home. I don't care. It's not cute. I don't want to pet it. I don't want to touch your dog. Dogs are haram for a reason, and this was a sign from Allah. There's shit all over my fucking rug. Dogs are gross. Have a child. God wants us to have kids, not to have a bunch of fucking dogs. Everybody in Miami pushing around a little Frenchie, putting a dog in a stroller. Have a kid. You're weird. Fuck dogs. Fuck dogs.
Man, people cannot actually even come to a peaceable agreement on pets anymore. We can't live in this communication model for much longer, can we? We're on the edge when people are willing to go to the mat over a pug in a buggy. Let's have a look at okay, the streets of New York are filled with dog stools. Let's have a look.
Bro.
No, that's not very nice. Oh, Mamdani. Mamdani!
This sidewalk is filled with shit. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm scared I'm gonna step in it. But y'all, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Pun intended.
I ain't never seen no shit like that. Oh, well, there we go. The cultural war has drawn yet another boundary upon which to squabble and quarrel and fight. I think we need to radically decentralise pretty quickly. I don't think cities work anymore. I don't think mass communication works anymore. I don't think a model where two teams vie for supremacy with the other team being submitted for a term, you know, in your crazy country and my crazy country is viable anymore. If we can't come to some peaceable agreement on pets and sanitation, it shows you how hopeless the model is. These are the end times, and in a way that's good news. And I welcome AI and constant synthetic reality because, as you've said before, Jake, perhaps that will encourage people to return to in real life physical contact, handshakes and communities that we run together. You know that on one hand you want to be able to get on with Muslim folk, you want to be able to get on with dog owners. If that's going to start becoming separate camps, you know, my God, when it was like Israel, Palestine, it was like, well, these are ancient and difficult theological and geographical conflicts that are playing out in the new world, in the new technological world. But dogs, oh, God help us all. Personally, I'm on the side of dogs. I prefer them to people. I mean, and I mean that all people in general. In fact, that's just my dog. It's not all dogs.
You're part of the problem.
Right.
Part of the problem. I'm sick of it.
I'm part. Fuck you! Where's my fire? I'll kill you! I'll shoot you dead. Yeah, listen, we need to change our attitudes to one another. Okay, let's have a look. What was the next one? We don't need to worry about Marco Rubio, do we? Right now, surely there can't be more Epstein file releases. How about? Well, Dave, it seems to me that you should contribute to this show and life in general. What have you got, darling?
I've had my clip for a while.
Yes, lemons is what it says.
You can do
we
the
got
lemons.
a couple in there for you.
Introduce it, Dave. Have you even seen it?
Yeah.
What is it, darling?
It's a guy that talks about lemons, and he talks about taking over the world with a lemon empire.
Well, fair enough. Let's have a look at Dave's clip, taking over the world with Lemon Empire, because, at least it's not people squabbling about dog poo. Here we go.
When life hands you lemons.
Make lemonade?
No. First, you roll out a multimedia campaign to convince people lemons are incredibly scarce, which only works if you stockpile lemons, control the supply, then a media blitz. Lemons are the only way to say I love you, the must-have accessory for engagements or anniversaries. Roses are out, lemons are in, billboards that say she won't have sex with you unless you've got lemons. You cut De Beers in on it. Limited edition lemon bracelets, yellow diamonds called lemon drops. You get Apple to call their new operating system OS Lemon, little accent over the O.
The rest of this content will be off YouTube. If you're watching us there, you've got a few seconds to click the link in the description and join us over on Rumble. If you ain't got Rumble Premium yet, get Rumble Premium now. You get more content not just from me, but from other trusted Rumble content providers.
You charge 40% more for organic lemons, 50% more for conflict-free lemons. You pack the capital with lemon lobbyists. You get a Kardashian to suck a lemon wedge in a leaked sex tape. Timothy Chalamet wears lemon shoes at Cannes. Get a hashtag campaign. Something isn't cool.